Oh man. Oh, okay, so it did work. All right. Guys, this is going to be a first attempt at working with SwiftUI. Um, I'm gonna try to keep it down. This will not be a long live stream. Quite simply because one, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Two is because I'm at an Airbnb. Can't be talking too loud. But I'm gonna go over what I learned. Today I'm gonna ignore the chat a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys how to get up and running with a list view and or with a scroll view and a list view. And hopefully this will help get you guys into the first stages. This will not be best practices because um, there's going to be huge changes in regards to architecture and design and communication patterns. So I will not be able to give you guys best. Um, this is day one. So with that said, let's get into it. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible so that you guys can see the stuff that I promise. And then maybe if I'm not too tired, then I'm going to essentially try to make it a little bit better. But okay. Um, Here we go. No, not that one. Hold on. All right. All right, guys. So now I'm extremely blessed to have chosen something like something that uses declarative UI because now I can understand the concepts a little bit easier. Whereas somebody that's not coming in and knows anything about declarative UI, it's a little bit harder. I promise to make a video for you guys where I explain everything in detail. Um, I promise I'll explain everything, the difference between declarative and I believe ours is called imperative, what we're used to. I'm going to do a video on that, but give me time, guys. All right, let me see. I'm getting beta up and running. So just real quick, I'm not on Catalina. I'm using Mojave, and there is no hot reloading essentially on Mojave. So just keep that in mind. All right, so when you get Xcode beta, I have Xcode beta, Xcode 11 beta. You go to new, right? New project. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that before. Swift package. Single view application, just like normal. And then give it a name, whatever, right? Um, Declarative for the win, right? Um, and then the most important thing when you want to start working with SwiftUI is just to use SwiftUI because the way that our projects actually are built right now with the current system that's in place for building iOS is you have an app delegate which also controls um, like I don't fully understand it, so I'm not going to even try to explain it. So, but there are two different things. There's an app delegate, and then there's like a scene delegate, and you want to make sure that you're using Swift UI because it's going to have both of those inside the project. But yeah, use Swift UI. Make sure you have that checked. All right, I'll put this in the KL Learning. That's where I learn ya. And once again, guys, everything that I can see is what you can see, so I'm not looking at the chat right now, so I'm sorry if I'm ignoring your questions. All right, so like I said, look at you have two things. These are two things that you're going to notice that there's a difference. Just the app delegate, it automatically has some code in here. We're not dealing with any of this. You could actually delete it. It's just a default app delegate. You don't have to delete it. I'm just letting you guys know. I've already looked into it. That's what you can delete. From this, you can delete the same thing. These are different events that happen during different stages in the app's lifetime. So I'm just clearing all this stuff out so that you can really see what the bare bones are for setting this up. Also, we have this content view, so no more view controller. That concept's essentially going to go away from the way that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, and then I believe you could technically delete this. I haven't tried deleting this, but I'm gonna just leave it in there for right now. So let's get this up and running on a simulator. All right, we got hello world, right? Let's take it a little bit further. So what we want to do is the first thing that we want to do is we want to bring up a navigation bar, right? So a nav view. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a navigation view, right? And what you're going to see a lot of is this declarative, this kind of declarative type UI. And we're actually not going to be initializing things as much anymore. What's going to happen is you're going to be initializing things with closures. So you're going to see a word, and then you're going to see some syntax for a closure. That's because the initializer is actually with a closure. So it looks like this. This is the initializer right here, right? Very confusing looking stuff, especially for native Swift developers. So this is what we want to do. We want to create a navigation view. Now, navigation view needs to have an actual view that it's kind of attached to, that's going to allow it to be displaying some content. We're going to start off with a scroll view just so that you can kind of see how to get just a regular scroll view. Because I looked into the documentation and it looks like for collection views, we will actually not have a separated item like a collection cell to do something like that. These are a lot of topics that we're going to cover on different days. But let's just go ahead and grab a list view, or no, not a list view, a scroll view. And once again, same syntax, we're going to create it this way. Now, what you'll see is that we have to also create something that holds text. This is essentially like a label for us, right? So we have to create what's called as a text object, and then you need to initialize that with some type of text. And I believe that's it. Now this will essentially get hello world onto the screen. And I can't spell it. And this will initialize it and get it into a scroll view. Weird thing here is that it's not bouncing right now. Not really sure how to make it bounce. Still have to look into it. Still new to it, guys. All right, another very weird thing which I'm still trying to wrap my head around is that in order to add a navigation label, you actually need to have some type of object in here to return the view, but you also, and then if you want to have a label or a title for your navigation bar, that's when you would add the title after whatever view you're putting in here. So then we would do dot syntax, and we would do, you know what? I actually forgot what it was. It's like navigation, or is it in here? Oh, it's in here. Dot. No, I actually don't know where it's at. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other one that I did. Building listen UI. So, okay, yeah. No, I think I am right, but it's not gonna come up. Dot navigation title bar or something like that. Oh, did I close it? Hold on, I'm still learning. All right, so what we're gonna essentially do is we're gonna do this, right? I'm gonna just copy it in here and then I'll talk about it. Now, this is very on whatever's preceding it. Essentially, we're calling a function on the scroll view. Now, this is a little bit weird to me. Still have to wrap my head around it. When I understand it, I'll get to you. I'll let you guys know. But essentially what we have right now is a scroll view with a text object in it, kind of like a label. And then what we're doing is we're making sure that we're going to have a title at the top of our app. So we run that. And as you can see, it says users, and then you know, you do whatever you want. So you change it whatever you want, right? Also, take a look at the scroll view. When I drag, I'm not getting any bouncing. It seems like it's set to false by default. A little bit weird. Don't know how to change the bouncing on it, honestly. My guess was to do something like always bounces or something like that. Vertical, or yeah, vertical is equal to false, but this didn't work. It's a function and you're setting a value to a function. It doesn't really make sense, but I don't know, syntax is a little bit different. Anyways, this is how you would do it, right? So And the reason why I'm showing you guys this scroll view first is because when you work with a list view, you have to work with an object that's identifiable, and I'm going to get into that in a bit. But essentially what you want to do right now is just to have a list showing up. What you could do is, yeah, that didn't actually work. You would be able to do like, let's say we were doing names, the people that I met or hung out with while I was out here, right? I don't know if that's how Mark spells his name. Right, we're doing this, right? So this is essentially making it like a scroll view that you can go through, and as you can see, it doesn't add any styling or anything like that. This is a simple scroll view of essentially labels. So if we had enough labels, I believe it would just scroll up and down. I haven't been able to figure out the syntax for looping quite yet. It's a little bit different. As you can see, I tried to use a map, couldn't get it to work. But yeah, this is one way to just display static data. Not very useful, but it gets something on the screen. We're going to do bad practice. We're going to put the actual object up here. We're going to create a user object, and this is where we actually are going to try to do use a list view. So let's go ahead and do a struct. This is going to be a user, our typical user, right? So to this extent, objects haven't changed or anything like that. They're still your simple objects. But when you want to use a list view, things get a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out. And when we want to create a list view, and I just realized that you guys probably can't even see any of this. Sorry. And I know that my text editor's probably looking a lot uglier than the original one, but it is what it is. All right, just so that hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. That's weird. That's new. That's new. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a list, and a list you actually need to, let me think. Where is it? A list you need to pass in what type of what array essentially you're going to be working with, what array of data that you're going to be working with, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially have an array of users. This is bothersome. Whatever, I'm going to keep going forward. We're going to have let users, right, is equal to, and then we need to do an array of user, right? So I'm going to just put in one for right now because we're going to actually have to change this, but I want to show you why it's weird to me, in case you get stuck, because I was stuck on this for a while. So we have this array right here, right, and it's called users. Hopefully you guys can see that even though it's small. What we need to do is we need to pass it an argument like so, and then from here what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up a closure, and Jesus. And from here, this is where we're actually going to be looping through. So we need to create an instance of our object. So we're going to be looping through the array that we're passing into the list. And then what it's asking for is it's saying, hey, you need to make sure that you're passing back some type of view. So a text is a type of view. It's something that's I don't know if presentable is the correct word. It's a type view. It's not a UI view. This is something completely different. It's just a view, right? And if you try to do something like this, which is really mind-boggling on why it doesn't work, user.name, right? Because text technically takes in a string, this will not work. And I can't understand why, but your object, your custom object needs to conform to what's called identifiable. And I think that's what's tripping up a lot of people right now, is this identifiable keyword. Now when you're conforming to identifiable, and if you go ahead and take a look at it, it doesn't really give you much else. All it says is a type that you can compare for identity equality. I can understand how that would be useful, but I don't understand why it's a mandatory point to make a list, but it is, from my understanding. Anyways, what you want to do is if you go ahead and fix this, what's going to happen is it's going to automatically give you a variable called ID. You can change the type of this to something like an integer, and we could even give it, we could give each object an ID of 0 and everything will still work, or you could keep the ID in there, like you could keep the ID like this, and the initializer will require you to actually create ID down here, so we would have to give each object some type of integer. Okay, so this is typical Swift, nothing's changed in that respect, but yeah, right now I'm just giving it a 0. Every object has a 0 ID, and this way I only have to give it a name. So now when I create all these users, right, what I can do is I can just go like this, and then we just go ahead and create our typical array. So since I'm a slow typer and nobody wants to see all that, so this is really the key that I think everybody's missing out on and they can't figure it out. And of course, Apple gives us an overly complex project to do something as simple as this. So you really have to like dig down and figure out how to change it. Right, so we're creating this array. I never know which one it is. There we go. And now you'll see that there is no longer a problem down here, and when we go ahead and run that, what's going to happen is that we're going to get, we'll make sure that we're using, it shouldn't all be Kyle. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't run into this problem last time. Yeah, that's super interesting. I don't know what happened. I didn't run into this problem last time. Last time it displayed correctly. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have it exactly figured out, to be honest, guys. I did try to figure it out, and it looks like I'm still doing it wrong. Okay. So I'm seeing everybody's, yeah, SwiftUI. Yeah. I eventually got there. Hi, where is main.storyboard? Storyboards are dead, guys. Storyboards and programmatically, or it's all dead now. There is no argument. It's just SwiftUI. All right. So apparently, I'm still new to this too, guys. I'm still learning. I thought I did have it figured out. I got 4 on here. It's interesting that it would still display the same name, but it's not exactly that interesting because I'm setting them all equal to 0, and there's something happening behind the scenes that I don't fully understand. And since they're all 0, it's passing them in a weird way. So what I'm thinking, I don't know how this relates to using APIs. When I figure that out, I will definitely do another video. And then I'm gonna loop back around and hit up, I will be giving you guys SwiftUI tutorials, right? And I will find out, it has to be out for a couple of days. We all have to learn it. We all have to explore. I have to see what other content creators are going to put out. A lot of people are going to be able to figure out a lot of stuff faster than me because, you know, just there's a lot of developers that are better than me at this. But when you start seeing some of these other things coming out, just know that I'm consuming them too. I'm going to get all this information to you guys, and we're all going to learn together. I will definitely do an entire course on this, and it will be a free course. I promise you that much. It will be a free course. We're gonna get all to the. We're all gonna get on board with SwiftUI real quick. No problems. No problems. No money necessary. So I'm gonna give you guys this. Let me figure out. I haven't been on GitHub in a while, as well. What do you want? Swift UI first, SwiftUI presenting first look. Make it super long, complicated name. Not even necessary, but whatever. You know I'm stupid. I'm tired, guys. I'm so tired. Alright, let's see. So that you guys can get this. Oh, no. On an existing. Actually, it's not existing, so let's go ahead and do that. What is that? Alright. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and change directory. But let me know what you guys think. I'm about to switch over to the chat, so I'm about to talk to you guys. But let me know what you guys think about today's announcement. Did it blow your face off? I know it blew my face off. My face doesn't even work no more. What did I call this? Declarative for the win? Something like that. That. Bam, it's up there. There you go. Here it is, guys. Go play with it. Have fun. Like I said, we're all new to this. I'm not the best programmer, but I will pick it up quick. I'll pick it up quick. I'll make more videos like this, and like I said, we're all gonna win. We're all gonna learn together. So, oh shit, my wife's in here. My wife's in here. I love my wife. I'm only here because she lets me be here. I love you, babe. All right. Let's see. Let's switch this camera back over to my stupid face. Fuck, I can't even think. Yeah, so big day today, guys. I don't think that we've seen a WWDC this big since Swift released, in my personal opinion. This is my first time coming out to San Jose for WWDC and things like that. I went to AltConf, in case you didn't know. And this was an amazing experience. I'm trying to record some stuff for it. I'm gonna release a video just so that you guys can kind of see the experience as well. And I'll probably share something with you. I don't know up to what extent is it really like a vlog or what. I'm just trying to capture whatever I can for myself, just because I never want to lose this memory. This has been a very informative trip. I've learned so much just by being out here in these past 48 hours. Just there's so much knowledge that I've gained and so much perspective on everything about our community. But yeah, all right, let me see. I'm gonna go through the chat room, and then I'm gonna hop off because I'm super tired. If you have any questions for me or you want to say anything, put it in the chat right now so that I can get to it by the time I hit the bottom. So what's going on? Adam M, Alper, Junaid. You know I'm bad at names. I'm sorry. Junaid Khan. What's going on? I'm doing all right. I'm tired, but I'm loving life. Absolutely love SwiftUI. I'm at work now. Yeah, bring it up at work. See what they say. Yeah. Okay, Adam M. What does SwiftUI mean for Interface Builder? It means that Interface Builder is dead. Sandeep says, hi Kilo, what's going on, Sandeep? Yo, so excited about this. What a time to be an iOS developer. Absolutely. Now, Thomas, once again, appreciate you. Always appreciate you coming in here. But yeah, it's an amazing time to be an iOS developer, guys. And I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting for Swift to bridge the gap on mobile platform development with Android. So if we do that, then Swift takes over the world. Oh shit, my wife says my son's watching me. Hi Bubba, Daddy loves you. Um, could you share iOS 13 betas? You can share them. I'm not going to share them. My upload speed is 4 megabits per second. I'm surprised that this live stream is working right now. Also, because I know that you can share it because somebody shared it with me. Please increase font. Yeah, I did that a little while back. Hi there is where is main dot storyboard? Like I said, storyboards are gone. No more storyboards with SwiftUI, I believe. Thomas is absolutely right. This sucks. I will have to do design now. Um, to the extent that you had to do design in the first place. Now, keep in mind that I don't have Catalina. If you didn't get to watch the State of the Union platform, uh, or whatever it's called, there is still like storyboards where you're able to insert different elements into your storyboard-esque type view, and then it auto-generates your code. So instead of the code being written in XML, which is what storyboards actually is, it's being written in Swift now. Let's see, sup dog, what's going on, Max Codes? Oh shoot. Hey Kilo, I wanted to tell you that I got a job offer from a decent company. Thanks for your guidance and suggestions. Thanks, Mayank. I really appreciate you consuming my content. I'm super excited for you to have gotten that job. Um, yeah, hit me up sometime on Twitter or something like that, and let me know like how you're liking the job and like what you guys are doing. Yeah, just everything. Yeah, thanks, Kilo. No problem. iOS dev, ID 0. Yeah, that was absolutely the problem. Yeah, as tired as I am, I'm trying to help people. That's, yeah, that's true, babe. Um, gets kite. Is that because of ID? Yeah, you guys were right on the ID 0 set and ID. Yep, yep, yep. You guys saw the problem before I did. Your videos are so helpful, Kilo. Thanks. Always trying to help, guys. Always trying to help. That's my pleasure. How events can be recognized? What user tap on some cell? So that's I didn't want to go into that because I don't fully understand it. Let me show you really quickly, kind of what that looks like. What you would have, since we're in this navigation view, is you would have, let's see if they allow you to wrap into a widget, essentially is what you would do. And it's hard because autocomplete doesn't work that well, but you would have a navigation button, and then you would essentially wrap all this in here, and then there is some type of oh, okay, so there's a destination. So you would wrap it in this destination. Like I can't show you this because I don't fully understand it yet. But the concept is that you wrap it in some type of gesture detection. In this case is a navigation button, and a button is just a simple gesture detector, right? A tap gesture detector. So I wonder if they have one gesture. And there would need to be, yeah, see, I don't know enough to do it. This was just to get you guys started. The other stuff should be a little bit easier to figure out, um, but I can't teach you that because I don't know it. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I can't teach it because I don't know it. I have to do more research, and I'm seriously brain dead. Like I've been out all day, whatchamacallit, blew my face off, and now I'm just trying to I have to go to bed and I have to recover, essentially. But yeah, that's essentially how you would do it, is you would wrap the actual object that needs to receive the tap. You would like, so let's say it's some type of cell, right? And now we don't, a table view cell is now more along the lines of what's called an H stack. That's a horizontal stack, and that's actually more, and an H stack is actually just a stack view. we know it more like a UI stack view. So just imagine that instead of having these cells, now what you're working with are creating your own stack views of different elements. So you would create a horizontal stack view to create a cell, right? That's your horizontal stack view. And what you would do is you would put like a image view, which is no longer an image view, it's just an image. You would put a label, which is actually just text. And then if you had like an icon, I think there's something called symbols. I'm not 100%. I have to look into that too. But now instead of an actual a cell, you're working with a H stack, horizontal stack. The vertical ones are a V stack, a vertical stack. And you take that object and you wrap that object in a gesture detection, and that's how you detect the different types of gestures. Don't know what those gesture detectors are called, what they've been refactored to, but that's what it will be. Let me see. Okay. How events can provide things. Yeah. Husky says, wow, great, thanks. Absolutely my pleasure. My wife says, love you too. Keep up the good work. Thanks, baby. Do you think that it is a game changer for developers? This is an absolute game changer for developers. Honestly, personally, I feel that Swift will eventually take over. It's the most beautiful language, and it allows for major flexibility, and it's already making its way onto almost all platforms. There's no reason why it wouldn't take off, but this is definitely a game changer. Like I said, we just need to close that gap with Android. If we get on Android, and then if Google does eventually launch Fuchsia and we can get on Fuchsia, Swift will be everywhere. Just keep in mind that this does not invalidate your other programming languages or skills, because things that are essentially being replaced by other languages, and languages have been replacing other languages forever, but people still use them. Keep in mind that Swift is going to be a general purpose language, and that it is not going to be the best tool for the job in every case, but being a Swift developer will definitely mean that you're able to do a whole lot more. Okay, do you think only README file is on the repo? Is it? Maybe I didn't push it properly. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for oh shoot. No, hold on. Did I already break it? I think I broke it. Hold on. Make sure that it's not broken when I send it up there. Okay, publish origin master. Thank you. I'm gonna say thank you properly right now when I see your name, but let me just make sure that it's up there. Yeah, okay, it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. I'm gonna check the file actually. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go into the project and look at content view. That's our new view controller, guys. Content view is what you want. All right. I need to thank somebody for saying that it wasn't and checking it. Fabio, thank you for checking that for me. I really appreciate it. Will you do a tutorial on CI and CD? I haven't done those myself, so I can't say that I know a time frame when I will get to it, but I highly doubt that I'll get to that by the end of this year. I eventually will, because it's something that I need to learn, but I don't think I'm going to be hitting that this year. Sendip says, hi, what's going on? Oh my god, literally just discovered your channel and saw you were streaming, so thought I'd say hey and thanks for the content, super helpful, and you're a pleasure to watch. Thank you, Jeffrey, appreciate that. Code Explode, you're the best. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Which best best book for auto layout? Honestly, Sandeep, I'm not gonna recommend auto layout. It doesn't. I couldn't possibly recommend anything when SwiftUI just came out. I couldn't. That wouldn't make sense to me. I wouldn't recommend you buy a $50 book specifically for auto layout when it's going away. I wouldn't recommend it. Whatever you need to learn can be viewed in videos and articles to the point to cover you for the next couple of months until SwiftUI starts taking over. Pratik Gupta says hot reloading in Xcode. Hot reloading is only available on Catalina, guys. So if you want hot reloading and the instant code update, you have to get Catalina on your machine. I'm not going to do that at this moment. I'm not at home. I'm in San Jose, and I can't put this on my production machine. I need to make sure that I put this on my production machine safely, and I'm probably going to do that with having a bootable hard drive. So yeah, it's not. I won't be able to show you guys hot reload until probably a week from now. You are tired but still here to teach us. You are love, Kilo. Yeah, thanks, man. I really enjoy teaching you guys. I think I just want to help change a couple of lives. My life changed for the better when I learned development and when I got a job, and I want to bring that to as many of you as possible. Does anybody know where I can find or get the live view of the content I created? If you have Catalina, there should be a button at the top right that allows you to display it. But if you don't have Catalina and you're just using the beta of Xcode, you have to just run it. There is no hot reloading right now. Not on Mojave, that is. Also, while I'm here, thoughts on Flutter. I'm still going to continue to learn Flutter, but it is no longer going to be something that I'm heavily pursuing like I've been in the past couple of days. Being out here has made me really come to a self-realization that you can go super deep into iOS and then help on all kinds of different stuff. I'm still pursuing Flutter, and then I will pursue Kotlin, and then I will also pursue C++ and Objective-C too. Some of these things I need to pursue C++ and Objective-C to bridge that gap and to kind of figure out where the hangup is for these Objective-C guys. I need to transfer them over to Swift. No more storyboards, no more delegation with binding in place. Pretty sure no more auto layout as well. Yeah, no more. Yeah, auto layout is. Yeah, there's no more auto layout. The way that we're going to be creating UI is going to be very different from now on. I would like to tell you that you do an amazing job. Keep doing what you do, and it will pay out one day. Big up to you, man. Really appreciate that, Jan, Edwin. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Would it still be possible to get pods such as SCL alert view in the new Swift? So, first of all, keep in mind I don't know. Keep in mind that I don't know. But theoretically, if you were to start a project that didn't have the SwiftUI box checked, then you should be able to still start a regular project where you're able to create view controllers and you're still able to import the different dependencies that you've been importing for a while. And what you could do is you could use SwiftUI to build out your UI, and you might be able to throw a wrapper on top of that in order to have it create some type of view. But I would guess that most likely it's not going to work as you would expect it to. That's my guess my guess is that it wouldn't work as you expect it to because you're working with two completely separate libraries. If you didn't watch the keynote, SwiftUI is completely written in Swift. There is no more concept of UI kit or app kit from the perspective of SwiftUI, from my understanding of it. Um, so no, being able to present these views, it would just, I think it would be really tricky because you're working with something, two things that are very, very different. So I don't see it working. I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but I don't see it working. I would like to, okay, list, users, action, users selected. Can you try this, Kilo? Um, users.selected item. That wouldn't work because I don't have a selected item object or a property on my object. You guys have the code, you have to try it yourself. I'm too tired to try anything new, I'm sorry. Will you do videos about Combine framework? Yes, I'll do videos and an entire course on, the course will be centered around how to properly build UI. I think I'm going to do it in SwiftUI. I was thinking about it earlier. It would be completely SwiftUI and this Catalyst and all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm going to touch on Combine framework too. Yeah, thanks you helping a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Hey Kilo, any idea when will SwiftUI be released out of beta? Um, so theoretically, it should be out of beta by fall, like how they usually release like the new phones and stuff like that. Um, Theoretically, it would be out by fall, um, but I don't have an end date. I didn't hear an end date, and I couldn't guarantee you that it would be coming out at a specific time. But that would be my guess. Also, keep in mind that this is a complete rewrite of an entire framework that's built to support UI across all the platforms. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not even out of beta by the end of this year, just quite simply because it's so complex. What they're working with, what they did and accomplished, is so amazing that I really wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have it out of beta before the end of this year. But obviously, it's worth learning. You still have your current skills. Um, but yeah, just keep in mind that if you're going out for a job, don't hold your breath on this Swift UI thing because since it's in beta, I don't, from my understanding, you can't release anything that's in beta to the App Store. So we're still stuck with storyboards and programmatically doing things. Just hone your craft right there. Maybe look into more iPad development stuff. That's the way that I'm going to be leaning towards on teaching is iPad related UI design in our current way of writing stuff with UIKit and with UIKit, and then I'll be transferring that knowledge over to Swift UI when I get more comfortable with it. All right, guys. So that looks like it's the end of the questions and all the comments. I really appreciate you guys coming in tonight. Thank you for your time. Hope that this was helpful. I spent like two and a half hours trying to figure out how to do the list views. Um, yeah, so it wasn't very straightforward. Keep in mind that you can always go to developer.apple.com, find the starter projects, and they're trying to do better documentation. They have a video, I believe. I didn't watch the video. And then they have very in-depth, like a very in-depth tutorial on how to do something that's more complicated than we really need at this point. Um, but yeah, that's where I learned, so that's where you can learn. Um, so real quick before I leave here, just so if anybody's not understanding how to get there. So once again, that's just all right. So developer.apple.com, you're gonna come down, and this is all clickable. Xcode 11 plus Swift UI. You go ahead and tap on that, and Once again, this view not available on Mac on Mojave. You want this view? Download Catalina. You have to make sure that you are running Catalina on your Mac. From here, what we do is we scroll down. We do to this Get Started Now area, and you want to go to the tutorials. The references is more like the documentation. If you're really good about reading documentation, you can definitely jump in right here and try to start reading it. I had a very hard time reading it when I was going through the lists. Where the hell is it? Let me find it. Oh, so yeah, see, this wasn't even it. So it's under View, Layout, and Presentation. So, yeah, I want to show you the documentation. So this is what the object looks like, right, under the hood, and then this is all the documentation. So it's like they didn't know what to document, so they just documented everything. So this isn't as helpful to me. That's not how I learn. But I think a good starter point for a lot of people will probably be the tutorials, and the way that I was able to learn what I showed you guys was I went through one of these tutorials. Look at up here at the top. If you keep scrolling, it's just going to show you all this garbage. Go to the tutorials right here at the top right, and then get started. Get started right here. Now from here, it's going to take you to a specific project, and then I think you can navigate through. If you go to the bottom, it'll try to pop you over to another project, so you get started building lists and navigation. Just go ahead and grab the project files and start stripping them down and figuring out what's doing what. That's what I did. I grabbed the project file, downloaded it, start taking away everything that didn't make sense to me, and that's how I was able to show you guys and find out that identifiable was the problem. But yeah. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks again for dropping in. Hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Probably won't do another tutorial until I get back home, maybe on Wednesday. But if I'm here, then I'm here, and you guys will be able to see that. So, all right, thanks again. I will catch you all later. Got to turn this thing off now. Just got to figure out what happened to my window. Look at, that's the bad thing about YouTube. That's the bad thing about YouTube. If you close the thing, then you have to go back to the thing. You have to open the thing, and then you have to end the thing, and then you have to stop streaming the thing. Oh, live dashboard, see. Absolutely, Sandeep. My pleasure to share it. It was awesome to share with you guys. Um, yeah, totally. Thanks a lot for coming on and giving us a feel. It's SwiftUI. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you. Really appreciate that, Code Dart. All right, bye, guys.